What is up, YouTube? This is DeFGandolf coming to you with another video, and today I am flying an F-35 fighter jet, and it kind of goes along with the time of my video today, because today I'm going to be talking about aircraft, and how aircraft are underpowered, rather, in particular. Now, this is something that I think is pretty big as far as the gameplay goes, because, I mean, all of them generally are underpowered. Attack choppers, fighter jets, scout helicopters, and transport helicopters. They don't even stand a chance against a single enemy engineer using a Stinger or an Igla. And they don't even stand a minuscule bit of a chance against an AA vehicle. They die almost instantly from them. I mean, the biggest deal with the heat-seeking missiles that are fired from other aircraft and from the Stingers and Iglas is the reload time on the flares. I think it's like a 30-second reload, and when it only takes 3-4 seconds to reload a Stinger, I mean, that's a lot of shots you can get off. Now, I know they say, oh, well, you can just get out of range and all that. Sometimes it's not exactly that easy when you're having to deal with an enemy AA vehicle, other enemy aircraft. I mean, and you also keep in mind that you're not only getting shot at by that one enemy engineer on the ground using the Stinger or Igla. A lot of times you're also getting shot at by enemy aircraft or AA vehicles. And, I mean, it just makes it really underpowered. That, in and of itself, makes it underpowered. Excuse me. And, I mean, that's one really frustrating thing about trying to fly aircraft. I mean, that alone pretty much ruins the experience. But then you get to throw in the AA gun. Now, the AA vehicles in this game are just straight up overpowered. There's no argument about it. I mean, the active radar missiles that they have are fire and forget. I mean, you shoot them, and they can fly all the way across the map. And if there is an enemy aircraft anywhere within its tracking zone, it hits it, almost guaranteed. And you don't have time to deploy flares because you don't get the beep 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 thing that you're getting locked onto until like the last second. There's no way to evade them. And I mean, in a helicopter, yeah, they don't do as much damage as normal like heat-seeking missiles, but I mean they knock you off. I mean, they make you go flipping around, they knock out your rotor. You just lose control of the helicopter, and if you're close to the ground like I like to fly, I mean, that's not exactly a good thing. I think most helicopter pilots would agree that losing control near the ground is not a good thing. And it's not like you can exactly just take cover from these missiles or the enemy active radar missiles from the AA guns, because on a lot of open terrain maps that are so numerous in Battlefield 4, excuse me, it just makes it impossible because there's no cover to hide behind. I mean, yeah, you could go sit behind a teeny tiny little hill, but then you get shot by RPGs and tanks and and that's just a whole nother world of hurt that gets opened up on you when you do that. And, I mean, it's just so frustrating. I enjoyed flying in Battlefield 3. And in matches where the AA guns or the AA vehicles, rather, are not competent on the enemy team, I highly enjoy. Do I get shot down still because of the flares? Yeah, I do. But, I mean, it at least makes it possible to have some amount of fun flying. What you're seeing in the background is the only time I've been able to get in a jet and get more than 1 or 2 kills in a single life. Now, this is actually really strange in Battlefield because this jet life, I guess, lasted about 10 minutes, I think. Maybe even more. The gameplay that you're seeing in the background, that's not even the whole time I was in the jet. But, I mean, that's really rare. That is the longest time I've ever survived in a jet. And it's just because of all these things. Like, if you have 2 enemy engineers on a team, you're basically screwed. Heck, if I'm in a helicopter and I start getting hit by AA, I bail out instantly. I mean, I don't even give it a chance to try to get. I bail. Just because there's no way that I can get away from it. I mean, the cannons on the AA, they have insane rate of fire, insane velocity, and, I mean, it just gives it very, very little bullet drop. And they can also fly an extremely long distance, something like 1,000 meters or something like that. So, I mean, you can practically snipe with AA vehicles. I mean, I've been killed from 3/4 of the way across the map on Gold Mud Railway before, just because the AA is sitting there on one of the hills shooting me from 650 meters away. And there's just nothing that you can do about it because the gun on it has so little bullet drop. And when they're shooting that many bullets that fast, yeah, it doesn't do 25 damage like an AR does up close, but when you're shooting with that kind of rate of fire, with that much velocity and that much range, I mean, it's just even difficult to counter it with infantry. I mean, you have to have a team devoted to keeping their AA off the map if you want to have anything to do with aircraft in the game. And it just is generally annoying. I'm sure I'm not the only one that shares the opinion that if you're getting shot down 30 seconds after taking off, it's not fun flying aircraft. When you get on these nice streaks like you see in the background, it is very rewarding feeling, because it's not easy. I mean, I don't know what DICE is going to do. I know there's been a lot of tweets recently. Today is the 14th of January as of the making of this video. They've been tweeting out that they're going to be nerfing the AA vehicles. I don't know what they're going to be doing to nerf it. I assume they'll be lowering the damage, if not completely removing the active radar missiles. I'm pretty sure there's going to be something about those. And I'm also fairly sure that they're going to be making a change with the cannons on the AA vehicles as well. But, I mean, I think that they need to decrease the reload time of the flares down to at least 15 seconds. It needs to be cut down to 15 at the most, because even then, it still leaves a huge opportunity for you to get shot down. I mean, 30 seconds is way too long to just to reload flares. You literally cannot counter any enemy missiles for 30 seconds. I mean, if you think about how many enemies, whether they be in vehicles with heat-seeking missiles, AA with the passive radar or whatever, I mean, no matter what you do, there is no dodging all those missiles that can be potentially coming at your aircraft. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, aircraft is one of those things that really sets Battlefield apart from other first-person shooters, such as Call of Duty. But, I mean, it's just, no one does it because it's not fun. And you can see my little terror in the background has finally come to an end. But, I mean, it's just annoying. So, there you go. There's my thoughts on aircraft. I mean, they can be fun, but generally they're just annoying because of the enemy AA vehicles and the inability to counteract enough enemy missiles. I mean, you see there, that life only lasted 30 seconds. So, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. And be sure to head over to my channel and subscribe for more great content coming to my channel in the future. And yeah, this is DeFGandolf signing off. Later, guys.